Hello, good morning. This is My Sports Olympiad 22nd, and I am Paco de la Banda, and I am with Ricardo Gomez, Portuguese winner of the Euro Games with bronzes, silvers, and he will tell us in the future how
Let's
it's
check.
going. And we are in London, and let's see something about where we are. So this is the city where My Sports Olympiad is celebrating, and it's the capital of the United Kingdom for sure, full of tourist people, some of them My Sport players. And we have, for the third time in a row, we have a wonderful day, really sunny, no rain. So for those who think that coming to London is just coming with an umbrella, it is not true. We have 3 days in a row with a wonderful time to enjoy this city, but for us players, to play is the most important thing for the pantomime. So we are going to talk a lot about pantomime, but this morning we will talk about trench. So, Ricardo, present yourself. I mean, I know that you have been competing here at the top level for the last 3 years, and you were 4th, then 3rd, then silver last year, and the Euro Games. So, what is your next goal?
When I arrive in London, every time that I arrive, I'm focused on play. So I used to play as many games as the time schedule allows me to do. Of course, most of them I focus on Euro games because they are the ones that I like the most, the ones that I practice the most with my friends at home, wherever. But I'm not a single Euro games player, so I'm not playing just Euro games. And in Portugal, the diversity of games that we have on shops are not the same as here in Britain or Germany or other kind of countries where the board games are extremely developed. And we do not have an offer so strong. So we still need to buy games from other countries. The market is changing. There are new games arriving in Portugal. Nowadays, the games almost sort out in Portugal at the same time as here. And trench was a novelty 6 years ago.
So tell us something about trench, because we are going to talk about trench for 2 hours.
Well, trench is a Portuguese game, so that's why it's so strong in Portugal. There are a lot of players there. There used to be 9 country nationals. And it's a game that it's now about to get released the second season. So it's a nice game, and Portuguese people applaud it because it's Portuguese.
Okay, so we have to present the game to the audience. How does it work?
Hi, welcome back to the World Mind Sports Olympiad. My name's Steve Rain, and I'm going to teach you how to play trench. Trench is a 2-player abstract strategy game where one person plays white, one person plays black, and there's a trench in the middle that affects how some pieces can or can't be taken. Let's have a further look. In trench, you've got 16 pieces laid out like this. So this is white, and you can tell they're white, although they're white and black, in that the top part of them is white. These are the black pieces, and you can say these are black because the top part of them is black. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to capture a certain number of pieces for your opponent, but you're not after the number of pieces, you're after the height of the piece. So you can see this piece is a 4 high piece, so if you capture that, you would get 4 points. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get to 25 points or 25 layers of pieces. So effectively, if you can do that before your opponent, you're going to win the game. And to capture a piece, it works just like chess. You just need to land on the square they're on. And the way the pieces move is that pieces have 5 different heights. You've got pieces that are 1 high, 2 high, 3 high, 4 high, and this piece here that's 5 high. And the pieces can move equal to or less than their height. So the 1 piece can move 1 space. The 3 piece, if you could actually move out of this space, The 3-piece can move 1, 2 or 3 spaces. The 5-piece can move up to 5 spaces in certain directions. Now, the directions that a pieces can move vary depending on the piece. Every single piece can move orthogonal. When I say orthogonal, I mean horizontally and vertically. So if I've got this piece here, it's a 1-piece, it can move horizontally and vertically in any direction, and because it's a 1-piece, it can move 1 space. I could go there, 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 or there. A 3-piece is exactly the same. If I had a 3-piece, I could go 3 that way, 3 that way, 3 that way, or 3 that way. If I went 3 that way, I could land on that and take it and capture that piece. So every piece can move orthogonally in any direction, left, horizontally and vertically, but only some pieces can move diagonally. Now you've got 4 types of diagonals. So let's say I'm black. For me, forwards is that way, backwards is this way, right is that way, and left is that way. So if I've got this 2-piece, normally I can move it orthogonally as normal, but if I want to move it diagonally, I can only move it diagonally in certain directions. In this case, forward would be that way, backwards would be that way, right and left. Now, a level 1-piece can't move diagonally at all. A level 2-piece can move diagonally in one direction, and that direction is forwards. If you're unsure, you can flip over the back of the playing piece, and it kind of indicates which direction it can move in. So a 2-piece can move 2 that way, that way, that way, that way, but because it's 1 off the floor, it can move one direction diagonally. A 3-piece can move 2 directions diagonally. That will be forwards and backwards. A 4-piece can move 3 directions diagonally. That's forwards and left and right. So a 4-piece cannot move backwards. And the 5-piece, the big piece you've got, can move 5 spaces diagonally. So this can move 5 that way, or 5 backwards, or 5 forwards. And remember, that's up to 5 in any direction. So they're very powerful the bigger the pieces get, and they're worth more when you try and capture them. So that's how the pieces move in the game, but you'll notice in the middle of the board there's this trench, and this trench bit is kind of the key to how this game is different from other games, that you can cross the trench, and more importantly, when you're in the trench, certain things happen. So for example, on my first move, which is a decent first move, I can move that there, diagonally forwards because it's a 2-piece, and I can land it in the trench. Now when it's in the trench, a few things change. When it's in the trench, my opponent cannot capture it from his side of the board, yet I can capture him on his side of the board. If my opponent is on my side of the board, my opponent can capture me and I can't get them back. So effectively in the trench, they're indestructible from pieces in the opponent's side of the board, but if they get behind you from any direction, say if they get behind you here, remember this is a 2-piece, it can move 2, it can get me here, it could be here, it could get me. They can capture me from behind. So trench pieces are vulnerable from behind but very powerful if in the front. So at the start of the game you kind of want some trench pieces because a lot of the opponent's pieces are in front of you. Later on in the game things change around a bit. And the other thing is a trench piece has a slightly more powerful attack. So let's say I've got this 4-piece on this trench spot here. So they can't capture me, but when I try to capture them, usually I would have to stop when I hit one of their pieces. In this case, because I'm attacking from a trench, I can actually attack through my opponent's pieces. So this is a 4-piece, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, I could land there, and every piece I passed when I did that, I would take off the board. You can land in empty spaces on top of other people, but effectively you kind of get like a blitz attack, where you kind of kill anything you land on. If I attacked this way, because I can go diagonally forward because it's a 4-piece, I could go 1, 2, 3, and I would take these 2 off the board, and that would go there. Obviously, that's going to get taken straight back because all my opponent's pieces next to it can take it. But you might get some very powerful attacks from the trench if your opponent's not careful.
Okay, so as we are here and the most important thing happening is the pentamine fight to become champion, let's see how everything is going on the pentamine scores. So we have here that Martin Hovemagi, a former junior pentamine winner, is at the top with 3 wonderful scores of 99, 97 and 93. Second with just 4, but 2 very good ones is Marc Cataste with 104 and 96, and even 81 could be also important. And Jace Heppel is fighting strongly again to become pentamine champion, with 104 points and 80 on the second place. I mean, not having too good second and third points, but Marcos Ikla, who is junior, very good with 190 points. Michael Homon with 3 very good ones. He's at this moment, I think that he is one of the best with 96, 93 and 88. Ankush Kandewal, a big rival for anyone trying to become Pentamain champion with 94, 86 and 86 too, so 3 very good results, even if they are not great. Another junior, George Romet Topkin, that is also Estonian, as Marko Sikl. At this moment, 2 Estonians on the junior Pentamain fight with, well, really one very good one, 91, and then Natasha Regan, Siggy Harris, etc., etc. At this moment, from the players that we know very well, I will say that Ankus has 3 good results. James Heppel has 1 very extremely good and 2 good results. and for sure Martin Hovemaji has
those poker results from James Heppel and Ankush aren't real, so you can only count with 1 poker score for the Pentamind, and Ankush and James Heppel were the first 2 to get out last night because they just risk everything. There are a lot of games of poker. There are brilliant poker players, so they could take the risk in the first ones and then the other ones. That's why the POTH is just so low on both of them, because they risked their all last night.
Okay, so one thing that is important for the Pentamain is that you have to play 2 games of 2 sessions, and games of 1 session there are many. So sometimes you can do the strategy that Ricardo is recommending, then maybe if you have several opportunities to reach 100 points or close to 100 points, then you can take risks in the beginning to be in a great position. And if it is not worthwhile because you lose, no problem. You'll try in the future.
Yeah, because you need 2 big sessions, double sessions. You can have 5. So there's no problem. You need 2, but you can have more. And poker, only 1 counts for the Pentamind. And there are at least 5 nice events of poker.
Okay, so let's go to the standings on the trench at this moment. Do we have? Okay, so we keep talking about trench. Do you have something to say, to add to the presentation?
Well,
of Steve?
Chess is ancient game, and trench is a modern game. However, they fit together, they suit each other, and trench allows people that likes chess but feels no big taste on it, because chess is a truly abstract game. This one is like chess on strategy deep, but has a different taste, so you really feels that you are in the war, and it allows people like me that are more on thematic games, Euro games, to also make a step on trench and do not dislike it. So this is a game that suits Euro game players and abstract game players, and that's why it has a huge success.
For me, there is something interesting when we talk about trench and chess comparison, and that it is that you have the trench. I mean, in chess, all squares are vulnerable. Any square that you have a piece can be taken by the opponent, but in trench it is not that way. I mean, they are safe squares, and it will be difficult for the opponent to take these pieces on the trench. They have to move to your own field to be able to do it.
Because on trench there are 3 different fields: yours, your opponent, and the trench. On chess, the corner of one side and the other, or both ways, are
always the same.
Always the common ground.
Okay, let's go to the trench first board. Okay. Here we are seeing Andres Kusk and Nuno Torres. I think that talking about Andres Kusk is well, he's a legend, right behind Demis Hassabis. He has won the pentamine gold in 1916, in 1914, in 1911, in 2011, and also shared in 2013 with Ankus Kandewal. So he has won 4 times the gold. So if he is able to win 1 more gold, he will tie with Demis Hassabis. And can you say something about Nuno Torres?
Yeah, I can say that is a brilliant player. He's an extremely nice guy. He's from Portugal.
Okay.
It's his first time here. He's dreaming about creating a type of Olympiad in Portugal, this kind of competition. Good. So he came here to play because he likes, but it also focused himself on learning how it is doing, because he really wants to organize something like this in Portugal. I personally, I've tried 4 and 3 years ago. Then we make a break, but we can restart at any time. Of course, if it is going to be done, Trench is going to be part of it. I cannot say that I'm not surprised to see Nuno here, because Nuno really comes to see what it is. He's not focused on results. He doesn't say that I'm going to fight strongly on Trench, for example. Yeah. But if he's playing with Kusk this time, I guess on table 1, both of them won all the games.
Okay, let's talk about Trench and the results on last year's. We have here Andres Kusk, who has won the Trench competition for the last 2 years in a row, since Trench came for the first time to the Olympiad. And then silver were last year Samuel Pires, pupil of Ricardo, and Ricardo himself was bronze last year. And the year before was David Pierce silver, and Ricardo was also bronze. So what do you think about Nuno fighting with the defending champion and the best Trench player ever?
If I can say that I'm surprised about it, I'm not surprised, because I've seen Nuno in action many times, and I know that he can achieve a huge performance in many games. So I'm surprised to see him with 3 wins, but I'm not at all surprised that he's here doing so well, because yesterday night he was dropped out of poker soon, so early in the game I guess it was Ankush, James, and then Nuno. Then Nuno signed in for the night competition. He learned the game 2 hours before, practiced a little. We have dinner between them, and Nuno joined the competition at late and won the silver. So we are really speaking about an easy learning game and a terrible competitor.
So, do you expect that Nuno can beat Andres Kusk? Or do you think that it is possible? I mean,
do you think
he
that
has any opportunity?
That if you buy the lottery today, you're going to win tomorrow?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I guess the chances are almost the same, because I've played Andres Kusk twice on both competitors. I lost the first one on timing, but it wasn't about the time, because whether or not it was with the time, I was going to lose the game anyway. They were close games. Maybe I've lost for 4 or 6 points, but anyway, I've never seen somebody like Andres playing before. And in fact, the first year I became bronze and David Pierce silver due to pointing count, so the results were the same. And last year Andres gets 4 and a half. Samuel 4.5 because they get a draw. And I get 4 and 1 loss. That was to Andres, because last year I didn't face Samuel. So we can say that here at the Olympics, nobody has beaten Andres, but Samuel has once draw with him.
Oh, very good. Okay, let's see the game, and looks like that Andres is making a trap on the piece in J1. I mean, he's surrounding that piece on the upper side. So. So, what do you think about the game? Because you are a real expert. I'm just a newcomer.
Well, I'm not an expert. If we were speaking about maybe Carcassonne or Catan, I could make a better commentary. Well, I know how to play Trench. I like to play Trench. Trench is a beautiful game. I join it with the most pleasure. I think it's brilliantly designed, and by now with this game here, I think that Nuno is just trying to survive. I am seeing the power of the tiles that Andres is preparing.
Yes.
And one of the things that you can realize while you are playing Trench is that you can feel the timing of the game. So there is a preparation time where you are positioning your tiles that isolated they mean just a few, but together they build an attacking force.
Yeah.
And well, Nuno is widely open by now.
Yeah.
I think that, well, for example, if you see the general of Nuno can move, but the general of Andres cannot. But the small ones of Andres are well spread in the board.
Okay, but let's say something about you are defining generals, etc., and maybe
speak a little about the tiles.
Well, if you want to speak about the tiles,
so
and the
Steve
names
Rain
of the tiles,
has introduced the game extremely well. I wouldn't do better myself. So anyone that is listening or viewing as right now already knows how to play the game. But I would like to say that by now it was a trade. So it was a 3 tile for a 3 tile.
Yeah.
Each tile scores 2 points. And usually, to better realizing the score at the moment, the players use it to make piles of 10 points. Which means that if it is correct, and I'm almost certain that it is correct, by this time Nuno has already captured 14 points of Andres. Those points are the pile of 5 levels and then the pile of 2 levels, so it means 14. They agreed this morning, and this is a different way of playing Trench, but anyway, in the Olympics they used to change something in many games, like playing multiplayer Carcassonne, playing with Carcassonne tiles on hand, doing Catan with 1 point for the winner and do not count wins. So some rules are changing, and for Trench this morning even I wasn't playing Trench to be allowed to do the commentary, but I was there, so Andres needed my opinion. We all together decided that instead of allowing the second player to start, so the player that starts did not had a real advantage before because the second player is still playing. So this morning they agreed that here in London, in the Mind Sports Olympiad, once a player reach 50 or more points, the game ends soon, so it's sudden death, which means that if the second player reach 50 or more points, the game ends instantly. 50, yes. So Nuno has now 14, and we can see by now, it could be just for a few seconds, but Andres has less time than Nuno.
Oh yes. Wow.
So Nuno is a fast player. He's maybe trying to make a little pressure on Andres about time. Well, let's see if it works or not.
At this moment, 8 minutes 44, 8 minutes 55. It's Do you think that it is important?
It is extremely important. No, the 10 seconds is not important, but playing trench with timer is extremely important. I think that the first national championship we've done in Portugal, it was the introduction of timing on trench, and we've realized because only the finals were played with timers, so the players play differently with timers that without.
Okay.
We have general versus general.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's see if we can have an upper view, just in case we can count how
many points
how
the other player has.
They have. Yeah.
Okay.
So you count better.
Well, I think Andres has now at least 28.
Okay.
If it is 2 piles of 20 and the north pile is just 8.
Yeah, it should be that way.
But Nuno doesn't have all towers. So with the other view now, we can count Nuno 1. So if you can change again.
Let's move.
Okay, this is 10 plus 10 plus 10, so it's 30. No, it's 28. 28.
Yes.
It's 10, 8, 10. So 28 points captured by this player. Could you focus the other one, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2, 2, 10, and 6. So it's 4, 4, 10, and 6, which means 24. So Andres is a little ahead. And this is the type of game that a slight difference could make a huge difference in the end, because you could start trading tiles. And trading tiles is the best way to win trench, because once you have an advantage, and it could be 2 points, well, it's not the same safety that it is if it's 4 or 6, but 2 points could make the difference at the end of the game, especially with the new arrived rules, because if the first player reaches 5th, the second one is not any longer allowed to trade the same tile. So it could make the difference. And also, I try to figure out why that rule is introduced, because last year the draw between Andres and Samuel wouldn't happen anymore.
Okay. And you were talking to us about the sergeants, the general, and the names of the tiles. So please explain the others.
Okay, so the smallest tile that is worth just 2 points is the sergeant. Yes, that's one that you have on your hand. So it's just one level.
Only one level.
Yeah, and it's slower and do not make diagonals, as Steve Rain brilliantly explained previously. So the second one,
this one,
that's the sergeant. The other one, the other one is the soldier. So you have the soldier, the small one,
the small one,
and that's the sergeant.
And this is those 2 levels.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and that one makes 2 movements, and it could make diagonal in front. Then we have the 3 level tiles. Yeah.
3 level tiles.
That's the captain.
Captain.
Yes, and the captain moves forward and backwards diagonally. It's extremely powerful, especially because that new tile on your hand, that it's the level 4.
Level 4?
Yes, this one works perfectly sideways because it could go left or right extremely fast. However,
the most important.
No. However,
this one.
Yes, and I'll pick the other one. However, this level 3 is the only one but the general that could go backwards to defend. So they have different abilities. It means that the level 1 could go each side, and that one could go front and backwards. And this makes a little difference. That one, the level 4, could also go diagonal in front. Then we have the extremely powerful general.
Okay, this is the general.
Yeah.
5 levels.
If we are comparing with chess, that's what we've done before. You could realize a queen, that just can move up to 5 spots.
Okay,
because the queen can go coast to coast. This one stops on 5.
So you have soldiers, sergeants.
Yes, captains. Then you have the major, for example, the number 4,
and the general.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And only 2 of them are allowed to move on the trench, and are the 2 top spots, because they could move inside the trench. Anyway, I don't know if Steve has spoke about it, but on trench no one captures non-tile, so which means that it can move but it cannot capture.
Yeah. Okay, so
they inverted the time clock, so now is Nuno who needs a lot of time because he doesn't realize what was happening. And now we have again the battle of generals. So one of those is going to be captured. It is like that. If the white general, the Nuno general, captures the black general, then the full level black one, the major, could occupy the same spot as the general it is, which means that Nuno gets 10 points and Andres gets 10 points also. Oh, well, I would like to do the same provisions on the lottery. So they were just trading points, as I told you. Maybe at this point of the game, Nuno already realized that has a few chances against Andres. Is trying to do the best score because losing for few points would make difference anyway, but could be a nice kicker for tiebreaker.
Yes.
And is trying to feed himself with more points. It's extremely legitimate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, when you see that you are going to lose, you can try to win, but if you cannot win, then to reduce the difference.
Here in London, in Mind Sports Olympiad, there are some games where minus scores do not reveal some strong information. For example, Abalone, you do not score if you win 6-2, 6-4, 6-5. It's the same. But here, minus scores are important, and I lost the first silver medal to David Pierce because of it. We draw in our game, but on minus scores, David got the better for me. I don't know for how many points. It wasn't too much, but it makes the difference. So I think Nuno is doing well right now.
He's trying to minimize the risks.
Well, by now, he is not in a so weak position. He's not in a so weak position. I think both of them were really nervous because they do not know each other. Maybe Nuno knows a little more about Andres because last night we spoke about it. But anyway, we'll never know. Andres has preparing a nice attack on Nuno Major. I hope, okay, that Nuno realizes it, because if Andres moves the major to F2, then he will be able to capture the other one because he cannot defend backwards. So I guess it's what's coming on Andres' mind right now.
So the major of Nuno is in G2.
Yes.
And Ricardo is proposing F3 moving to F2.
Yes.
To capture from the backside.
Yes. Okay. However, it's Nuno to play. It's not Andres. If it was Andres, he was there for sure.
Yes.
Why? Because the F3 tile is also from Andres. Okay. So he can prepare the same attack with that little soldier. Because it would be undefensible for the major of Nuno. He cannot go because he's on trench, so he doesn't see on your back. And that's the kind of taste of trench. That's the beauty of the game, because it is an abstract, and it isn't. It's a tasty game with a thematic component that feels strong, because Nuno tiles are strong to attack out of the trench because they are seeing facewards. However, if you are on the trench, you cannot defend yourself on the back. So let's check. Okay, it's a nice movement. But
forcing the general.
But if the major, the general are already gone, both of them. The major. Well, if you see what Nuno has done, could make a double threat.
Sacrifice.
No, it's not sacrificing. If the major of Andres captures the 2, then Nuno captures the 4. Of course, Nuno knows that Andres is not going to do it. However, he is not defending well, because if the major goes then to F2, what would Nuno does this time?
Both of them lose the...
So it seems a distraction.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
It was a distraction from
Yeah.
Nuno. Well, now
So now F2.
it wasn't so bad, because if black captures the white one, then
Yeah.
the two could capture the black 8 point.
Yes.
However, as they agreed with the sudden death, maybe Andres has won with that 8 points. We do not have the perfect scores right
Okay.
now, but it could be what was
Okay.
happening.
Let's see the other view, trying to
realize the points from
realize the
Kusk.
points of Andres Kusk. So
Yeah, it's
looks
extremely
like-
close to win.
So then, with this win,
Maybe
I think
2
that
points
it was,
is enough.
It was better F2 with the other tile, just
With the small one, yeah,
with
maybe.
the
Maybe it
small
was.
one,
Yeah.
yes, because
Well,
he
it
was
can't
not
be. I think Andres needs 6 points. Maybe the
6.
right pile is 10. The second right pile is 10.
10.
Then is 8, 10. No, it's 8, 8,
8.
6. So he needs 4, 2, 2. He needs 8 points. Yes, he really needed that one. So if Nuno didn't escape, he wouldn't be allowed to capture the 8 from
The 8
Andres,
from
and
Andres.
would be
And that
a
will be
huge
enough.
loss. Yes.
Yes.
That's the new rules. I agreed with it. Firstly, because it was proposed by Kusk, which means that it has credibility.
Yeah.
And second, because it made sense.
Yeah.
Also because the developer of the game, that is the brilliant Rui Alípio Monteiro, is a Portuguese.
Yeah.
He dreamed about bringing Trench to the market. He has done it. But he has a close relationship with the main players, and he hears carefully the suggestions. So I truly believe that Andres has spoken about it before with Rui.
Okay.
And
Good.
yes, it was a nice introduction for the Olympic performance of Trench.
Very good.
It could mean that right now we don't have any draws any longer, because you lost on board or you lost on time. So
Okay.
draws are any longer available for Trench.
Okay. Yeah, from the point of view of the drawings on the tournaments on any game, normally not being able to draw is better in terms of facility for
And for audience.
pairings and also for audience. Yes, here Nuno has only 1 minute 10 seconds, so 7 seconds, so on, and Andres has 3 minutes and 40 seconds, which is, I mean, awful.
Nuno is proposing another trade,
Yeah.
but it's a bad trade for Andres, because he captures
Yes,
2 points to lost
and
8.
lost 8. Yeah.
But is this just an invitation, because the 8-point tile from Andres Kusk is not in danger, because
Yes.
from the trench Nuno wouldn't be able to capture
Yeah,
it.
to capture forward and backwards. Yes. So
It's just a diversion maneuver, but it
Yeah.
could work well anyway.
so H3 and F2 are the two majors, and they are influencing the mid and upper side of the board.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now Andres is going to change 2-point tiles and
Maybe.
maybe.
That's a way. Also, the movement, the last movement from Nuno Torres that makes the sergeant goes to F3. It's also a nice movement of blocking the Nuno tiles, because once you are in the trench, you have the perfect thematic ability of capture in chain reaction. So if a strong tile goes to the trench, you can capture a lot of tiles.
Yeah.
And once you are so close to the final 50 points, it could
Yes.
be like a penalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
By this point of the game, Nuno is extremely far from the 50, has just 19
Yes.
seconds, so Andres is just
Andres is- yes.
digesting time.
Yeah, digesting. Yeah. Yes, taking
2 more points to Nuno.
Yeah,
Well,
2 more.
it's well done.
and 2 more points for
Andres.
For Andres.
Yeah,
So
but the written
yeah.
rules of Trench say that even if you won on clock, you still score 50 points.
Uh-huh.
The minor scores
Yeah.
will still be 50 points.
So, end of the game. Okay. So that means 50 points for Andres and
At least
Nuno,
50 points.
At least, yeah.
No, it was on time, so it was 50 points. Yeah.
And Nuno?
I'm realizing 40. I hope it is 40.
Something like
I'm
40.
struggling for him.
Yeah.
He's extremely nice guy. We had dinner, lunch all the time together that we are here.
Yeah.
It's his first time, and well, it's from my
Okay.
country, so
In the meantime, I think that we are going to do something special in the Olympiads.
yeah, you smells that?
Yeah, I think that you're Portuguese, I'm Spanish, and we can talk a little bit for the South American audience and for the Peninsula audience.
Por mí muy bien, lo vamos a hacer. ¿Por qué no?
Okay, do you want to talk something about this flag?
Yes, so this is the Portuguese flag.
Okay,
Well, let's
round,
put it
yes, in the right way.
the right way.
direction.
So this is Portuguese flag. This is a Portuguese game. There is Portuguese players there.
And then we speak.
¿Quieres
Nosotros
hablar
hablamos
español, portugués?
español y yo en español y tú en
Muy
portugués.
bien, sí, lo podemos hacer.
Okay.
Que
Bueno.
en España, ¿cuántas personas que lo juegan tren seguro hoy?
Bueno, nosotros tenemos en las Islas Canarias un buen grupo de juniors que están jugando trench desde hace un año que conocimos el juego. Hace 2 años que lo trajisteis a las Olimpiadas por
Hace
primera
2
vez.
años que está en las Olimpiadas. Lo
Olimpiadas.
traje la primera vez hace 3 años. Con tu opinión, la opinión de Andrés y con la opinión de Ankush, también la de Tanilfeld,
Ujú.
que el primer año todos los que jugaron los juegos lo gustaron tanto que el año siguiente que él se introdució en las Olimpiadas y
Ah.
ya lo está. Y que están 12 personas jugando, que podrían ser 14, si yo y Samuel lo estamos jugando también, pero sin mí que lo serían 13 y Samuel lo quitó para jugar lo que
Muy
estamos haciendo.
Muy bien. Cuéntanos la audiencia de Trench en Brasil, porque creo que no solo Portugal, sino
Sí,
en Río Alipio. Cuéntanos algo.
hay una gran comunidad en Brasil, que hay un Facebook de Trench Brasil, porque es un juego portugués. Los brasileños, los portugueses que hablan portugués muy bien, que es su lengua, toda América Latina lo habla muy bien, por eso me parece que puede ser un buen mercado para Trench, ¿no? ¿Qué te parece?
A mí me parece maravilloso, y no solamente para Brasil, sino todos los países de Sudamérica que comparten el mismo amor por los juegos. Y este juego, cuéntanos algo del creador de Rui Alipio Montero.
Es un tío fantástico que no le gusta jugar.
¿Él es portugués?
Sí, es portugués.
es portugués.
Sí, es portugués. Es del norte de Portugal. Ha hecho muchos juegos que ya los tuve en su casa, que me invitó muy bien, que me ha recibido muy bien. Y lo jugamos un par de ellos. Y yo lo sé que Trent es como un hijo para ahí. Y hay más. Sí, Trent de verdad es un conjunto de 3 juegos con una temática militar. Vamos a ver que como Trent se está teniendo la segunda impresión que está llegando al mercado ahora, vamos a ver si lo llega a más personas, se llega a más países, si hay condiciones para que lo segundo que pueda llegar.
Muy bien. Pues un placer hablar para la audiencia de Sudamérica, de Portugal, de España.
¿Verdad?
Te agradezco que hayas aceptado hablar en castellano. Y we come back to English and we come back to the new game in the board number 1. So
Okay.
may we see the scores on Trench right now, if it is possible. If not, we go ahead with the
live commentary.
live commentary on the first board.
Well, for sure, right now we have a player with 4 wins.
Yeah, and Andres Kusk.
Yes.
Okay.
So The table number one is the final table. That's definitely because it is 5 rounds, I believe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is
sure.
booked 5
Yes.
rounds. So this is the final round, and this is the final table. We have Andres Kusk. What a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not a surprise because he has won everything. Yes. So
Okay, I think also there's something that we hadn't spoke about that is extremely important right now. I don't know if you realize it or if you had the previous information, but Trench World Championship has today 3 type of prizes.
oh,
So
good.
there are still gold, silver, and bronze medals,
Yeah.
but also prize money.
Mhm.
So the winner will get, translating to
Yeah.
our language, that's the same that's Andres, or else it is about 50 euros. It's 40
Okay.
pounds.
Yeah.
So it's a prize money anyway.
Yeah, yes.
And there is also the traditional special prize of Trench that is color.
Oh, really?
Yes. And Andres has the color twice. So it's not a new one. So it's something that is going to move from champion to champion.
Mm-hmm.
And if my memory doesn't fail, if Andres wins this time,
It will
it
be
will
3
be
in a row.
3 in a row,
Yeah.
which means it's his forever.
Okay, so he will own the color. Okay, and he's fighting with George Topkin that it is not strange, but it is Estonian too. So last table is going to be fought between 2 Estonians.
Yes.
And there is something interesting about George because this is the first time that he's playing. He's junior. He's 18 years old, and I think that is a tough competitor. So he's going to put things difficult for Andres, even if he starts.
I believe so. However, there's a lot of pressure also on the side of George because maybe or most certainly had learned the game from Andres.
Yes, sure.
There's also a second thing if he's okay. If he wins it, will be like
Yeah,
I don't
defeating
know.
the
I don't know.
master.
Yeah. And there's also a different pressure because if he is 18 years old, is his last chance for junior
Yeah,
pentamind.
junior pentamind. Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
there are many things getting discussed
involved
in the game,
and the
and
psychology.
for us to realize what happens to George if he lost the game, maybe the results would help us. No?
Okay, let's go to the results up to now. Let's see how are they doing. So you were right. Andres was 4 wins. Then Nuno, who is in the former game that we have seen, and then 2 more players with 3 points. Victor, from the Canary Islands, so that's good. And George, that we are seeing. So Andres and George are playing each other.
Now, Nuno before. We do not know if the loss of Victor was versus Andres. It is possible.
No,
We
but
do not know.
maybe Nuno defeated Victor in the past, but no, I think that Victor lost with Andres.
Yeah.
So they're playing each other for sure.
yes.
Nuno and Victor for the silver, because if at least for the silver, if George is able to defeat Andres,
We could have
then
3 players
we'll
with
have
4.
3 players with gold, and then tie break will be important. Let's see how tie break is working. So first way to tie break, I mean the first decision will be
Head to head.
So
which means that George would have a huge advantage if he beats
if
Andres.
he beats Andres.
Okay.
And second, I mean, if there is only 2 players, it's just the result between both of them. If there are 3 players, then we will have to see how is the results between 3 of them. Just 3 of them.
Even with 2 players, it is possible because if they didn't play each other, it's also the score that matters. And it could happen because we do not know if Nuno already played with George, for example. Realizing that Nuno could finish with 3 wins losing to Victor, and George losing to Andres. And then, if you can watch, now we have 4 players with 2 victories, so at least 2 of them could also get
also
3. So we could
3.
have here an amazing fight for bronze.
For bronze, yes. Okay, second decision for tie-breaking is the number of points score throughout all the games, all the 5 games.
That's what we were speaking before, that Nuno was trying to get a stronger kicker.
The more points that he could score, it was very good in terms of tie-breaking. And the last one will be?
It's a Berger system, so which means that you will count the points from the players that you have played. I don't know, we do not have the right information, because sometimes it avoids your worst opponent, and sometimes it counts only your best opponent. And we know that it's related to the results of your opponents. We do not have the kind of information here, if it goes taking the worst or if it makes the privilege on the best opponent you had.
Okay, the Sonnenborg-Bergen system is meaning that the better, not the better players, but the better score players that you have played with, the better score that you have. I mean, if you have played with players with 4 points and 3 points, I mean a strong number of points, you will have a better score than you have played with players with little scores. And for example, if you lose the first game and then you win the second, the third, and the fourth, and so on, then you are going to play with players in the second game with only 0 points, and the third game with only 1 point, and so on. But if you have won first, second, third, and fourth, and then you face the last game but you lose,
you lose to the master.
In the second game, you have played with player with 1 point, and the second with 2 points, so you have more Sonnenborg-Berger points than the opponent.
That rule makes the coming from behind. That rule makes the coming from behind extremely.
So let's see the game. So still 30 minutes and 11 minutes. So too much time for both of them. And okay.
George is extremely well spread.
Yeah.
The tiles, well, if you can see, Andres cannot move the general by now, and George is able to move it up to 3 spaces.
Yeah.
Cannot move frontwards, but it's possible to make a side move of 3.
Yeah. And at the moment, there are 3 white pieces from George in the trench, and only 2. Even if one of them, I mean from Andres, one of them
can move up to 3 spots.
Yeah, is a strong one, is the captain, I guess. On the C6.
C6, yes.
C6. It looks like that George is not...
so handling on time.
Yeah, it's no problem. I mean, he's playing really fast and... has no, I think that he has no fear problems with Andres.
No. I guess on trench, the best way, if you're realizing inside yourself that you're playing facing a better player than you just need to play fast and try to make a surprise. Create a different maneuver, and if it works, okay. If you lose, you already lost before you sit on your chair, so it's all or nothing. And it is a final, so it is all or nothing. It means that most certainly if George beats Andres, as it is also table number 1, well, we do not have the top table tiebreaker, but it could give a different power, because Andres, as you told before, is all wins so far. So he's winning the master at the master spot. So most certainly George would won the gold.
Yeah. And there is something interesting in the table. There is an apple. And this reminds me that in the Mind Sports Olympiad we always have fruit available for all players. We have bananas, we have apples, we
Oranges.
have oranges.
Yep.
So our brains can be fulfilled with natural fruit, and this is good. I mean, I think that. What do you think about feeding during a so long tournament?
It's extremely important, not only the feed, but the drinks, the water. So you should hydrate yourself as much as you can. You should eat between times, and you should be careful with what you eat. So I do not have any problems in saying that if it is a one-day competition, you could put a lot of hydrates inside yourself and carbonates or whatever, because the next day you can recover from it. But in a 9-day competition, if you start doing on the first and the second day, you'll be lost on the fourth.
Okay. So 2 points, no, 4 points for
4 points, yes, for George.
Let's see how many points Andres Kusk has at this moment.
Right now it was 3, because he has just captured 3 points. It's a trading one.
So this is 10.
They are not using the clock. They forgot. No, now they are, but previously George forgot the clock.
Okay. Yeah, you have also to take care on pushing the clock. If you don't do it, then...
But if you feel the pressure, and most certainly George Topkin has his heart beating like...
What do you think about the position of George so open? I mean, do you think that that is good in general, or because looks like that the position of Andres is more
concentrate,
solid,
yes,
more concentrate?
Well,
what do you think?
In a game like Abalone, that's extremely important. In Trench, it's not so important to have them all together. However, if they are together, with regular movements, your opponent can only capture the first of them. But if they are together with a perfect attack that could be made by the major or the general, that could capture up to 4 tiles in a row, it could be nice. So if George could put the captain on the trench without a dangerous position, because it's always possible to lose the general, if he's able to capture, for example, 14 or 16 points, giving up on 10, it would be amazing. So most certainly George is trying to free the general and then use it wisely.
Okay.
He's also defending extremely well the tiles that he has close to the trench. Yes, because leaving one gap is not a problem. But if you do not prepare a defense, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. So if you realize, there is a gap on George's side and a gap on Andres' side. So every tile that is on trench is extremely defended.
B6 and D6.
Well, I mean B6, yes, C5,
C5, yes,
and D3. So all those are well defended, because those tiles are extremely dangerous. Once you have 2 of your tiles side by side on the trench, if one tile of your opponent reached that position, you can escape with one, but the other one is left there to be captured.
Yeah, the last play from
it was surprise to me.
No, but he's trying to put the captain in D5. That will be very good, I guess. I mean, George.
He can only put on D5 the captain, yes, right now. And then it's a treat for G8 tile, it is.
Yeah, it's
because he would be allowed to capture 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row,
Maybe it's time for us to talk about another rule of Trench that suits extremely well now, because people at home can think that as there is a gap, you cannot go further. But the movement from the trench allows you to capture the first and passes through the hole and go on to the third spot.
Now we can
12.
count 12. Yes.
So 12 points on one side.
Andrew's side. And
maybe 12 or 10 on the other side. It's 10.
10?
It's 10, yes.
So it's 2 points ahead on Andrew's Kusk at this moment.
Yes, 2 points and a minute and a half on clock. So Hernandez is dominating the game.
At this moment?
At this moment, that's it.
So...
it was a wisely move.
Yes.
Because it is
1, 2, 3,
completely
4, yeah.
covered.
Yeah.
And if the E7 tile is moving, that is right now, as I told you, it could be a nice defense. But if that one falls out, then if F8 would be available to trade. So and FG is not able to defend because it doesn't move sideways.
Yes.
Only the general can go there.
Yeah.
So it could be preparation of a deck.
For the major in B4, it is not possible to move four squares ahead up to F8, passing by D6.
No, it's not possible right now because it would be possible if that tile was on the trench, but there isn't.
But it isn't. So
there isn't.
So the only possibility will be to
capture the
go
4
to
points.
D6 and then losing
4 points.
4 points.
Yes.
Okay.
However, if the major of Topkin do not disappear, whoa, it's a death. Yeah. Whoa, I was seeing it, but anyway, I think it's game over. Yeah. Now it is 6 points and 2.5 minutes. Well, George, the better thing for you is start scoring some points, some scoring points.
Yeah, for the tie-breaking, that it will be important for him.
Yeah. I think it was the third movement that I predicted it should be done. But anyway, I could understand George is young. It's facing the master. It's a first time in the Olympiads. It's a final. So his heart beating is now like in a nightmare.
And don't forget he's junior.
Yes, that's it. That's just 18. That's it. Of course.
And I mean, it is nothing against the juniors, but Andrus Kus is so experienced a player. Any game, any kind of fight, I mean, he's really, I think that here we have 3 or 4 legendary players. For sure, Demis Hassabis will be one, and Andrus will be immediately behind, and maybe we have then Ankus Kandagoal and Dario De Toffoli both.
Well, in most of the games, I'm quite sure that James Happel would have a word to say.
Yes, sorry. It's my mistake. James Happel is, for me, James is an amazing overall mind. I mean, he's able to understand a game just watching it and understanding strategies, understanding. He has a marvelous comprehension. Sorry, you wanted to say something?
Yes, George has only 14 points.
Yeah.
So it's 4 plus 6.
Yes.
So it's just 14 points. Yes. Andres by this time has at least 20.
Yeah.
If I'm realizing well.
Yeah, changing.
So 6 points is trading tiles.
Yes,
go further.
Tiles. Yes, trade tiles. Yeah.
Just by now, I think that the best of George could only win if Andres gives the worst of him.
Yeah. If he makes a
lot of
big
mistakes.
Mistake.
Yes,
yeah.
a lot of. A small mistake doesn't cost the loss right now.
Yeah. So, once you have a sufficient advantage, like this situation, the recommendation of the expert, Ricardo, is
thank you.
Trade for the same. So, just
same or higher.
Or higher, well, yeah, but trading for the same is
it's
enough
a safe
for
position,
you. It's the safest.
Yeah.
and maybe the opponent, if he doesn't know how to avoid this trade of the same, maybe he's going to make a mistake. So trying to avoid trading for the same is not easy in this game.
Yes, and as I told on the previous match,
Yeah.
the new arrived rules also makes stronger that trading ones.
Yes, trading.
Because once you reach 50, previously the other player is allowed to also respond. So if
Yeah,
it's the second to
perfect.
play.
Yeah.
Right now, with the sudden death,
Yeah.
the trade compensates even strongly than before.
Okay.
But anyway, it was a nice addition because otherwise draws were possible, and
Yeah.
this way we always have a winner
Okay.
on table or on time.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
time
Andres
now-
is preparing an attack on the 6-point captain of George that is
Yeah.
now laying in E1 because the G3 tile can move 2 diagonal spaces.
Yes.
And then he's capturing 6 and give them 4.
4. Yeah.
And it would be a stronger one. Yes, that's why
Yes.
George has to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let's see what he's about to do.
Yeah.
An amazing move by Andres, and I think he has already seen it, is moving from G2 to F2. Because that way, he would guarantee that would capture the 4 or the 6 of the white tiles. I don't know if you see what I'm telling. So if
Yeah.
the small soldier moves from G2 to F2, then
Yeah.
one of the other 2 is instantly captured. It's a possibility. Let's see. It's not a safe position because there is a defense for that. But anyway, is an attack. And the games are won by
Yeah.
attacks.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's a slightly different position right now on the clocks. I don't know. What do you have to say about it, Paco? Because Andres has 2.5 minutes before and now he's losing on time.
Yeah, but I am not worried about the capacity of Andres to play fast. Yeah, he played that. Yes, that's clear. Now he's investing that. Then E2 can take it. Then
One of those.
G3 can take it. Then F1
Yes,
can take it, and finally trading is good for
I
Andres.
think now the best defense is that movement from, So 2 and lost 2.
Yeah. Then
And now captured the other 2.
and now
Yes.
this one and then.
But Andres has won 2 more points this
yeah,
time.
Yeah. So general is coming.
So 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2, 18 with 6, 24. George
So-
has already captured 24 points from 100 side. I would ask us to see how many points does Andres has right now. Is it possible? I don't know if it is.
Uh,
30 at least? 32.
32.
So 32, 24. Let's see George move. It could be an answer. No, I think that pile from Andres is 12 points. Is a 6
yes.
level tile. Is that 6? Well, at
Yeah,
least 30
looks-
points Andres
Looks
has,
like
so
30.
so he's ahead.
Okay.
Extremely ahead,
Yes,
we can
it's
say.
32. Yeah.
Yes.
And now, what about the general going to G2 and
Well,
trying
it
to?
is possible, but then there's nothing sufficient appealing to capture,
Yeah.
and it's also close to the corner. So if
Ah.
I were him, I would instead move to F3.
F3. Yes, F3. Okay.
If it goes to G2, it is
Then-
possible to
yeah.
capture 14 points, leaving the 10.
Yeah.
But if he does that,
Yeah.
most certainly Andres wouldn't leave those points there.
Yeah, would move one.
Would move
and,
one
and,
of them.
and that's
And
enough.
then-
I mean,
yes.
not investing.
And
yeah.
then you are close to the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is possible that if George
Yeah.
moves, that
Yeah,
one
you-
was
you-
was better, because if it was moved to f2,
Yeah.
then Andres could move his tile from
Yeah.
from e4 to f3, and then the general would have less space.
So 4 more points for Andrews.
4 more, and the threat on b7, because d7 is now undefensible. Well, it needs to sort out of there because it was already dead. And now he's in a good position because if g7 goes to d7 to capture that 2, then the d5 tile would capture more points.
Yeah.
So it's worthless for Andres to go there.
But if the difference is high enough, I
He
think
could
that
give up on 2 points to have
2
more
points
control of the game.
to-
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
So maybe he can invest. It's not
Yes.
the style of playing of
Andres,
Andres.
no, it isn't.
Not what
It isn't.
investing on
It
on
isn't.
losing. He's always investing on winning, not on
And
losing.
the best win. The
Yes,
best
sure,
win, yes.
sure.
We now know that this final won't last longer than 6 minutes, but I wasn't expecting George to survive so strongly
So,
anyway.
yeah.
So it's an amazing performance.
Yes.
What do
very
you think
good.
about it?
Yeah, it will not be enough, but great performance by George. Yeah, going back, and now the situation is really desperate.
Yes. Maybe now it's all or nothing to score points. So
Yeah.
maybe even the general could sort out of f3 to f8 and capture 10, giving up on 10 because there's nothing to do. So 10 by 10.
10 by
It's
10.
good for Andres because it's immediately a win. It's good for George because he would score more points. So we will have a nice score anyway, even for the loser.
Mm-hmm.
That could be losing on silver anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a huge fight for medals right now.
Yes, and
Anyway, there's a nice,
very
almost
nice game.
certain one.
Yeah.
Because I guess the gold, I don't know, $50 that the gold goes to Estonia. What do you think about it?
Well, I think that there are games like Gomoku, Boku, Trench, and Lines of Action that Andrews is really strong. I mean, his analytical mind is so good, so strong that it is really difficult to beat him. And he's demonstrating now that in this game, 3 wins in a row.
Yes.
and so good result for him to the Pentamine.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I would love to be there with him. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
And I know how it tastes.
I would like to see the afterwards. As soon as we finish this game, the results of the juniors involved and for the silver and bronze because they
Let's
were
check.
they were fighting and
well, it seems that George is having more
time
difficult
problems,
in
yes.
scoring points that Nuno has had previously.
Yeah, for sure.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Nuno
true.
has a better control of the game. I
Yeah.
think has lost by fewest number of points. So maybe George is not so strong for the medals right now. I don't know. Maybe the
we don't know the
Berger
games.
system makes a difference.
Yeah, but we don't know.
But from this point on, with just 30 times, why doesn't George take the 10 point from Andres?
He must do it because
He must do it because
he's going
it's all or
out of
nothing right
time.
now. Yeah, it's all or
Yes.
nothing right now. He can
Out
score
of
10
time,
points.
yes.
10 easy points moving the general on all that row. No, he wouldn't with 15 points, with 15 seconds up on time.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
I think that his next move is from f3 to f8.
Yeah.
It's all he has to do. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, it was given for free from Andres.
Yeah.
Andres didn't pass the time.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's anyway. It's a small mistake, I think.
Well, yes.
Oh, it's Andres' move. Okay.
Yeah. And then 10 points.
Finally,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he did it, and then game over.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
So-
it's also a nice movement from George right now,
Yeah.
and it could give us an extra information about the player
Yeah.
because he left that obvious move until the end
yeah.
to can make a little more points. So
Something in the middle.
I may give up on my previously
Yes,
opinion and
maybe it was
agree
right.
that
Yeah.
the kid has done it
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a small amount in the middle between doing the final 10 points.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
it was a risk because Andres could move the
Could move,
4-point
yes,
tile and then
yes.
it was
And then it
gone.
was-
Well,
yeah.
anyway, I wouldn't disagree with now that I've seen,
Yeah.
but previously to me it was a mistake.
Yeah. In the end, it was a good decision,
good move, yes.
a good move.
The result
but,
is good.
the result. As far as the result is this.
Well, congrats to Andres.
So,
5
yeah.
out of 5.
Yeah, it's
Um,
3 goals in
3
a row.
consecutive goals. So the color goes to Estonia to stay there because Andres brings the color back to the MESO
Yeah.
year after year.
Yeah.
And now it
But-
could last at his home. If
Yes.
I'm right, that 3
Yeah.
is enough. I believe so.
Yeah.
And it is a special taste for my small student Samuel because after 15 games, he still's the one that has didn't lost to Andres Kusk about the
Oh.
draw of last year.
Very good. Very good. Well, Samuel is great.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
finished third in Pantomime
Yeah.
junior last
Yeah.
year. And well, he's just 16, so
Yeah.
there's still
Still time.
a grossing path.
Yeah.
So let's check how it works.
Yeah.
Madeline has been the referee of this competition. She's also from Estonia. That's
Yeah.
the Go headmaster, I believe.
Yeah.
Go Moku also. She's
Yeah,
a specialist.
She is very good.
Yes.
In many
And
games.
she was the referee. She was also playing, and she wasn't so bad. She was about
Yeah.
2 wins, 2 loss before. And we know that in a competition like this that has just 5 games, if the drawing of the game, if you are not top seeded, the first one could be extremely painful until the end.
Yeah. Let's see if we have the results of this tournament. Okay. Okay.
People are checking the final score right now.
Yeah, and the plays and. Okay, so
Hello back.
how do you feel commenting this game from your country?
It's extremely honor. I feel I'm feeling well today. I felt honored at the time that the invitation arrived. So it was something that I wasn't expecting. This is not my ground at all in the games. I like to play. At least by now, I'm 37. I don't know when I will be 40 or what else if I wouldn't like to be here. Anyway, it was a nice experience. I really liked it, especially because I've seen them doing the moves that I was doing if I was there.
Okay.
Yes, it was nice, and also because I had the privilege on the first game that we had the chance to comment a Portuguese player,
a Portuguese
and he
player,
has done
yes.
so well that
Yeah, no.
I'm leaving the studio proud of him.
Yeah.
And being with your companion close to me, it was an amazing time. So thank you also
Okay.
for the invitation, Paco.
A pleasure.
It's always amazing to be with you.
I think that now we are able to see the results of this tournament. So let's see Trench in the end. Nuno second. Oh, congratulations, my friend.
Charming.
Okay.
So Nuno,
Oh.
we spoke last week on Facebook, and Nuno told me I will be like a punched one when I arrive
Yes.
in Portugal. And at the third day, at the morning on the third day, he's already with 2 silver medals. So we are seeing right now, the awakening of the next bear here on the MSO. So I'm surprised with it. He wants so strongly to be here, and he works last week, and he had 5 plane travels in the last 5 days. So he really deserves it. Nuno, I'm proud of you, and I think that Rui Alípio and all the Portuguese people are proud right now.
I am also proud of the third player.
Yes, but excuse me, Nuno, you're taking the Samuel spot, so Samuel went to the room to sleep, but as soon as he knows it, well done, Nuno, congrats.
Yeah, sure. And in the third place, there is a player from the Canary Islands, Victor Hernandez, who is fighting for the junior pentamine really strongly. And I also congratulate, it's a pity that George Topkin, after fighting so much and with the last game, this loss moves him to the 4th place, but
Victor deserved it. I've played Victor last year. He has almost all the Spanish. He learned the games a few days before, and he's an amazing player. And for Pentamine Junior, Mario, George, Victor, the other Victor, all of them are with the same score for Junior Pentamine.
Oh yes,
because they share 3 wins. Also, James Heppel has a Pentamine score of 3 wins.
3 wins, yes.
So it's not the worst thing.
Yeah. So, so I want to ask you if in the meantime that you are going to start with the
first class game. Second round.
Do you want to ask me to answer me some questions?
Why not? Okay, if we have time. How many? How long do we have?
Only 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Take the chance.
So let's start. I am with Ricardo Gomez. And Portuguese player on the Mind Games, and I think that you are a real expert in Eurogames. Maybe I will say the best one here, but I mean one of the best ones. And what do you focus so much in this kind of games, the Eurogames?
Well, I think that if you really like to play something, even in the mind sports, whatever, you should do something that you are at least good and that you like it. Without passion, you won't go anywhere.
Passion,
So
sure.
If my passion is on the Eurogames, I just believe that I should play Eurogames the most as I can. Anyway, I cannot agree with you that I'm the best. The best is Mike Dixon. He's an incredible guy, an incredible player. He got the better from me all the years, so I cannot even be compared with Mike right now. But okay, I accept the challenge. I'm trying to make at least the things difficult for him.
Okay, let's talk to Pentamine.
Okay.
I'm sure that you want an aim to become Pentamine champion. Do you think that with this range of expertise play and expertise games that you practice, this goal will be achievable someday?
If you make that same question about the first subject, I could say yes. About that second subject, Pentamine, it's not the same thing. So I've been 4th, 3rd, 2nd in the Eurogames World Championship by that order, which means that if I'm allowed, I should pick the first spot this time, because 4th, 3rd, 2nd. I don't know if it is still possible, maybe on Dreams. About Pentamine, it was 9th, 4th, and 5th. Which means that I didn't get any medal so far. Anyway, I'm just a small beginner. I cannot say beginner at all, but I'm kind of, because James Heppel, Andres, and Ankush, they are here for ages, as Dario the Toffoli and all the other tough players. So I think that even as I'm a little older than James Heppel, I'm still learning on this ground. So maybe a little further I could discuss a little more that subject. But by now, saying that I'm prepared for a pantomime or that I have the right conditions to discuss it, I think it's too soon and it would suit my personality right now.
Ricardo. Okay. Okay, so we will have time to talk afterwards. Let's introduce some commercials now. And afterwards we'll have the interview with the winner of the trench tournament, Andres Kusk.
Hi viewers, let's talk about Honduras' easiest way to invest, the Go and Grow. Go and Grow is an incredibly simple and automated service that allows you to earn 6.75% per annum and take your cash out at any time. Here are some benefits. It has a yield of 6.75, helping you to plan for the future. You can access your cash without any excessive withdrawal penalties. You also get a diversified portfolio of investments supported by advanced and reliable technology. And you only pay tax when you make a withdrawal over your capital amount invested. That's not all, there's more. You can share access with the people you trust to invest together for a shared goal like an upcoming world trip or a wedding. And if you are already a Bondura investor, you can transfer your existing Bondura investment portfolio to Go and Grow with just a few clicks. Check for more info in the description box below and visit us on Facebook at Bondura Capital. Start today and make your dreams a reality with Go and Grow. Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Bondura. A great question being asked by our investors from across the world is that why are we based in Tallinn? Tallinn is referred to as Europe's Silicon Valley and is a hub for innovative companies like Skype, TransferWise, Pipedrive, and of course Bondura, something not so commonly seen in a medieval capital city. Estonia hosts the NATO Cyber Defense Center and is also building a data embassy in Luxembourg, which will have the same right as regular embassy, but it is able to remotely reboot the country's IT systems in case of a cyber attack. So due to this level of cybersecurity, and since there are children being taught how to code in kindergarten, there is a wealth of tech talent, and this provides a great environment for us to thrive and achieve our goal of becoming Europe's #1 peer-to-peer lending platform. We hope this information helps you understand why we are based in Tallinn, Estonia, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what you want to see in the next week's video and how we can consistently improve your investing experience on Bondura platform. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep investing and bye for now.
Well, we're back here in studio, and I have it right on my right, the winner, Andres. First of all,
thank you.
Congrats for the win. It was an amazing performance. We've seen the last 2 games from you. What's the taste?
It tastes really good, especially because first 2 days have not been that good for me. So I was hoping for this victory, so this can be like a starting point for me to come back and fight for the gold medal.
Okay, and Pentamind is now a possibility.
It is a possibility, even though I'm still quite a lot behind, I think, compared to Martin and James Heppel. But I think without this victory, this would have been quite difficult already. So this was a really, really important victory for me. So now everything is possible.
What about this tournament? What do you have to say about it? What about trench competition here today?
Well, trench, of course, is one of my very favorite games. I just love this game. I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, basically, I did enjoy it a lot. But there were some tough games, especially the 4th one next to the last one, where I think I just blundered a little bit in the opening, basically just outsmarting myself a little bit, so I think I came out from the opening a little bit worse. So it was a tough fight since then to equalize, and then I got just a small advantage and was able to keep it until the end. So it was not easy.
Final between two from the same country. Maybe he's learning from you. What do you have to say about it? It's a different taste this time?
Yes, this was also quite difficult game because Georg is such an amazing abstract strategy games player, so I knew that it is going to be very, very tough fight, and he is not going to give anything easily to me. So yeah, and I think in this game I got slight advantage from the opening. I was a point or two ahead, but he was fighting really, really well for the central trench squares. So there were also some really critical moments, but I think I handled the pressure quite well, and endgame was already quite nice and easy to play. So it was a pleasant ending for me.
Okay, with the third win in a row, you get some special prize. I could announce it here, but I would prefer if it is announced from you. So, which means that you get something that from now on you can keep at your home, isn't it?
Yes, there is a special trench necklace which is given to the trench tournament winner every year, and at least I was told that the one who wins it 3 times in a row can keep it forever. So now I have won it 3 times in a row. So I hope that I don't need to bring it back next year.
Okay, so you do not need to bring it anyway.
Yep.
So I don't think if we had time. We have time. Okay, so that's perfect. Today you told that the 4th player that you faced was the stronger one.
Yes, I think this was the most difficult game. Although I might have made the life difficult to like myself, I probably did the life more difficult to myself than it was necessary, because I just a little bit outsmarted myself in the opening, just overlooking one clever idea from his side. So this was the most tough game today.
Okay, so you won the 5 games today. You won the 5 games on the first year, and last year you had a draw. With the new rules, draws are no longer available. What do you think about it?
Yeah, actually I haven't thought about it, that now draws are actually not impossible anymore. Other than free move repetition, this is actually still possible. So yeah, I definitely like this new rule, because I think that the game is really, really well balanced, and black does not have any kind of significant advantage. So I think this was a good decision by the trench people, just to get rid of this old rule that gave 1 extra move to white when black had already achieved 50 points.
What's your next target here in the MESO for this year? And I'm not focusing on the Pentamind contestant, so what's the next game that you are really, really focused on?
In the afternoon I'm going to play Continua, but this is not among my very favorite games, so I don't, well, if I don't win Continua, then this is not the end of the world, because I think if I get something from Continua, this would be just a bonus. And the next event, which is really, really important to me, I think tomorrow is going to be Corridor. In the, I'm not sure whether it's in the morning or in the...
it's in the evening. In the morning is
in the afternoon.
Mensa Connection.
Okay, yes, it's going to be in the second session. So this is also really important to me, because I won Corridor last year, and I think I really need to win this one as well to have good chances for the Pentamind.
Okay, so I think that's all, and from now on we're starting at 3 with the Acquire competition here at MESO, so stay focused. A little further from that you can still watching the MESO live here from London. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Bondora. A great question being asked by our investors from across the world is that why are we based in Tallinn? Tallinn is referred to as Europe's Silicon Valley, and it's a hub for innovative companies like Skype, TransferWise, Pipedrive, and of course Pandora, something not so commonly seen in a medieval capital city. Estonia hosts the NATO Cyber Defense Center and is also building a data embassy in Luxembourg, which will have the same rights as regular embassy, but it is able to remotely reboot the country's IT systems in case of a cyber attack. So due to this level of cybersecurity, and since there are children being taught how to code in kindergarten, there is a wealth of tech talent, and this provides a great environment for us to thrive and achieve our goal of becoming Europe's #1 peer-to-peer lending platform. We hope this information helps you understand why we are based in Tallinn, Estonia, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what you want to see in the next week's video and how we can consistently improve your investing experience on Pandora platform. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep investing. Bye for now.